With you again is Father Matthew Zaytuna, and the topic from Johannine literature that we'll consider today is the Feast of the Dedication in the Temple, mentioned in John chapter 10, verse 22. In the verse, we see Jesus walking in the temple during the Feast of the Dedication, which is more commonly known by its Hebrew name, Hanukkah. We learn from Jewish historian Josephus that in 168 BC, the land of Judah was ruled over by the Greco-Syrian king Antiochus IV Epiphanes. At the time, King Antiochus IV began a massive persecution, and he was persecuting the Jews, making practicing one's Jewish faith result in the pain of death. He also had the temple desecrated by setting up a blasphemous statue of a pagan god. The persecution eventually led to a rebellion by the Jews, in particular called the Maccabean Revolt. And the leader of the rebellion was a man named Judas. After a few years of fighting back, the Jewish fighters eventually recaptured the temple, purified it, and rededicated it, making it suitable for worship once again. A joyous 8-day festival, similar to Tabernacles, was instituted to celebrate the temple's rededication and to praise God for victory and the restoration of worship. We see in the first book of Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 55 to 56 and 59. So they celebrated the dedication of the altar for 8 days, and joyfully offered burnt offerings. They offered a sacrifice of well-being and a thanksgiving offering. Then Judas and his brothers and all the assembly of Israel determined that every year, at the season of the days of dedication of the altar, should be observed with joy and with gladness for 8 days. The custom of lighting candles later developed in Jewish tradition in connection with the relighting of the temple lamps. Once again, John connects Jesus to a liturgical feast. Just as the Jews rejected false worship and desired right worship with God, the Jews also asked Jesus to reveal if he really is the Messiah. As they listen intently, Jesus reveals that he and the Father are one. And it is exactly that line that we will have our meditation on in the next section.